Good morning, everybody. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining me. So, let's talk about the safety issues I learned when I was out here, particularly after being stuck in a desert wash. So, the men who helped me out were giving me pointers. And some of those pointers were, one, you can angle your vehicle so that it doesn't hit the wash directly on, but on the driver's side, do it on the side. In other words, don't be exactly in the wash, be on the side so it's at a slant. I could have made it through maybe by doing that. I could have made it through or backed myself out if I had a tire inflator, which I did, and maybe I could have inflated my tires. But after looking at it, we definitely couldn't do that because even my tailpipe was dug into the ground. My bumper, my basket, there was no room. And the only way I could get out was to back out or to have someone pull me out. The other thing that I learned was, now I have mats on my floors, but mainly I use them to sit outside. If I had known, I could have used those mats as traction, put them under my tires, dug a little way, put them under my tires, and maybe backed myself out. Again, these are all maybes, and these are safety things that they said I could do. I had no clue about that. Now, some of you said, oh, well, you should have been better prepared. No, you can't prepare for everything that's going to happen to you in life. You do the best you can, you think you know what you're doing, and you go from there. You should always know your GPS and how to call for help. Now, me, I didn't have a clue. I was like, oh, yeah, right, okay, GPS, okay, I don't deal well with that. There were a lot of people around me, and one person was walking her dog and saw me, and she was the one that called the men and had them get me out. There was a Facebook page that if you contacted that, they would bring help. I'm not even on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, I'm not. But anyway, so I just figured I'd just dig myself out until I realized I couldn't dig that tailpipe out. Now, I also think they said, do you have, they were just talking to me, and they said, do you have motion sensor lights for night? And I'm like, well, no, I do have them, but they're at home because I haven't put them out of the box yet. I didn't think I'd need them out here. For whatever reason, it's coal black. I should know better. A motion sensor light will let you know what's around your vehicle, but also, as you get closer, you can see. Now, I don't go out of my van at night, not to party, nothing. Once it gets dark, I close the doors, the windows, lock everything up, seal everything tight, because for me, it's way, way too dangerous for me to be walking in the gravel. You can trip, you can fall, and my last night at American Girl Mine, an older woman fell. And she did have lighting, but, there's so many things out here that can trip you. As an older person, you should really think about, do you really want to be out at night unless you're right beside your van? And even right beside your van, you can fall. You can trip on a rock. There's lots of rock out here. And there's lots of sand. And there's lots of dust. You just could not believe how much dust there is. Yeah, I bet you could. Anyway. Oh, and by the way, you should have a shovel. I have a fold-up shovel. You should always have a shovel, because maybe you can get yourself out of places by just digging, and putting those mats under. That is something you should have. Now, I'm not sure if everything like this is going to save you. I mean, I don't drive at night. I don't go out at night, daylight hours, or when I'm busy. But when you're out here, there's a lot of things to think about, like sunscreen. Sunscreen left in your van at too warm a temperatures has no value to you. So make sure your sunscreen is fresh when you come out, because you're always in the sun, whether you're sitting in the sun or walking in the sun. Always have a really good moisturizer as well as sunscreen, because your skin, it just dries out. It just dries out. I mean, those are just a few things. I'm only giving you a few things of what should and could happen only because of what happened to me. And things you need to think about, particularly if you're a solo female coming out here by yourself. If you're in a caravan, you've got more brains that can think through things. But with one brain, and if you're frustrated and you're a little excited about being stuck and it's going to rain, that's a whole different ballgame. Sometimes you get in your own way. You stop thinking. Don't get too excited. Try to logically think through it. And thank goodness I was around people. I do not go out into the boondocks by myself. I think that's a very dangerous scenario for any female. Male may be able to handle it better than a female, but many of us are older, we have physical disabilities, and for us to go out in the boondocks and expect everything to be okay is not really thinking about our lives. We really have to take better care of ourselves. We've got to think about what we're doing and where we're at. And more importantly, we have to not overdo what we're planning on doing, because I've heard a lot of nightmare stories about what's happened to people with health issues out here. Once you get sick out here, it's not convenient. They do have health care. They can fly you out of here or drive you out of here in an ambulance. But before it reaches that point, please, please take care of yourself. Pay attention to any pains or aches that you have. And there's the little one back there. And yes, she is not off the leash. She's in my camp. There's nobody near. You can see the nearest people right there. She's right here, and she rarely goes any further than what she just did. So don't get on to me now, okay? She's enjoying her freedom a little bit. She's usually on a leash. Anyway, what was I thinking? Oh, yes. So, also taking care of your animal. Marley's been fine, but I always look at her poop. I look at this, I look at that. I check her paws. I brush her at night. I make sure she has fresh water. I check her food. And I'm always thinking about her safety. I would say 80% of the time when she's on a leash, but the other 20%, she and I play. We throw toys. She runs and gets it. She has a really good time. She has to get rid of her energy. She has to be walked. I can't walk far. But other people have been walking her for me. One lady, Donna, thank you so much, Donna. Donna walked her a couple of miles, a couple of days, in mid-afternoon, walking around the camp. Marley had a great time, and she was exhausted. But I do make sure that Marley's taken care of as well, and there she is. She's going a little too far, because right behind me is a wash, and she's not allowed to go into that wash or past that wash, just in my little campsite. So this is just a little bit of a warning. There are so many seniors out here in dire circumstances. No money, disabled, can't lift things. They're not used to camping. They're not used to this lifestyle. This is all new to many, many people. And being with groups of people is helpful. It helps you to get to know people, to make friends so you don't get lonely. It also gives you more minds, more brains to use to figure out things on how to do something, whether it be in your van, how to cook, how to get out of a tight spot, just all kinds of information. So do try to get with other people if you can, and you're comfortable with it. And there are many, many good people out here. Many want to help you. Unfortunately, we're all pretty old, so it gets to be pretty difficult. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.